Good morning. Welcome to ATI Pro Media. We're powered by Advanced Trading. Well, there's no shortage of news to talk about. We got Brady Huck as a co-host. He'll be on in a little bit. We're going to mention cattle and what happened over there yesterday. Interesting move with that. Jojo, I think your mic's on. Maybe Rick's mic on. Are you guys muted? Let's get you guys muted and make sure you guys are off there. Sounds good here. A lot of noise. The only noise I want to hear is from that market rallying. But I don't know that that's going to happen. Let's take it to LaSalle Street, boys and girls. Go over the market prices, and then we'll go from there. All right. D's corn down 3.5. SEP soybeans down 1.5. No beans with a stellar unchanged, way off the lows. Soybean meal down 17. Soybean oil down 3. Wheat, border trade wheat down 11.5. KC down 13.5. Hard red down 9 3/4. Live cattle, we have some selling, follow through selling in live cattle here, and feeder cattle as well. Feeder cattle down 90. Got some bad news in hogs. I hope you're sitting down. August hogs are down 250. Let me check a different month over there in August just to make sure it's not. Let me check out D's hogs and see what's going on over there. D's hogs down 130. Serious situation in hogs, 62.45 in hogs, approaching hogs with the 5 in front of it. Brady, check your mic, kid. I feel like you're coming in. I hear every little wiggle from you. All right, moving it to the outside markets. Wall Street, gold up 22, silver up 30, 2-year, 5-year, 10-year, 30-year, all up. That means yields are down. Crude oil down 10 cents. Natural gas lower, 23 on the natural gas. Dow Jones up 30, NASDAQ up 80, S&P up 16. Micro Bitcoin down a couple hundred. Dr. Copper up 70. All right, let's bring him in the show. Brady Huck, we got a lot of things to talk about. Interesting day. Lots of things happening. What?
Yeah. Sorry about the mic. Can you hear me all right, Tommy?
Yeah, give me a little tap there.
Tap, tap, tap.
Yeah. We got it. Good.
Loud and clear. Good.
Yeah, you sound loud and clear. What's going on with these markets, loud and clear?
Oh, ugly. Gosh, don't even want to talk about them, Tommy. It just gets worse and worse, it seems like. Cattle had a nasty day, though, yesterday. Gosh, box beef, kind of a little pressure there, more sellers than buyers. I want to throw this graphic up real quick, just a snapshot of box beef.
No. Equal sellers and equal buyers. The sellers were more aggressive.
There you go. I like that.
I mean, if someone bought a future and sold a future, there wasn't more sellers than buyers. I think I'm not to mean to correct you, but I like to say that, there was more sellers, but that's not true. It's a zero-sum game. I buy a future, you sell a future.
True.
You want to sell a future harder, and the buyers bid cheaper. We have more aggressive selling than buying. What do you have here?
That's a snapshot of box beef here. The choice cutout down 481 yesterday, added some pressure there on the market and turned funds into liquidating positions. Funds are long cattle, and there's a lot of explanations of why this market's rolling over. And I don't know. It's just bad news, and nobody likes to talk about bad news. Good news makes you friends. Bad news just gets people to change the channel and listen to other things. But yeah, more sellers than buyers is what I would still call it, more sellers, because they got to go find the buyers, Tommy. They got to go find the buyers, and that's a lower price to find somebody willing to buy that position. But,
yeah, something happened there. Nonetheless, not the action they were looking. So let's talk about the funds a little bit, Brady.
Yeah.
Several years ago, the funds were allowed to, they've received expanded limits. So people enjoy the funds when the market goes up. They love the funds. You don't even hear about it much. I could bring up charts here in a little bit in corn and show some weekly charts of corn. And when the funds went from short to neutral to long, around that Ukraine time period, people really liked the funds. But now the funds have the power to bankrupt farmers. And the way they'll do that, and this is wild, this is a true story, they get to sell something they don't even grow. There are people in high rises in towns and cities and states and countries you can't pronounce that have the power to sell futures. Now, full disclaimer, run that disclaimer, futures and options there at the bottom, because they also have the power to buy. And so when I say the funds have the power to bankrupt the American farmer and all farmers, they also made you rich. And so the very people that rammed up the market, the very people that were caught massively short on a black swan event, have now figured out through fundamentals and other research that there's too much grain and it's in control of the farmer. The very farmer who they made extremely wealthy during those boom years in both land prices and inflationary prices of equipment and say like a bin. If you have a million bushels of bin storage on your farm, that is a huge asset on your balance sheet. They are now taking that money away. The way it's always been said to me is that the good Lord giveth and the good Lord taketh. And the people I want to blame is the funds. And it's not illegal. It's just part of I don't even want to say the word game because it's much more serious than that. It's part of the structure. And if you don't understand the structure of the markets, I really think you need to take time and learn. Give us a call or someone else. But when you our good friends over there at Feeder Flash, I love that guy's video comes out. He said that the funds uh, cause this chaos in the cattle. Now he doesn't have any idea who did that selling yesterday, correct?
We won't know for a while, right? The commitment of traders data is going to be a little delayed here, but yeah, exactly. Could have been anybody out there selling the market.
Right. Could have been a speculator, could have been a hedger, could have been a packer. There's a million reasons why people use the markets. A couple things to talk about, and we welcome all questions. If you're out there and you want to talk about how the funds, really helped you, if you want to talk how the funds are ruining your life, we'd love to hear about it, and we'd love to hear your opinion. If you don't have time to give a comment on the show, give us a call, 1-855-737-FARM or info@ATI Pro Media. Well, someone who can act like a fund, China. China purchased some stuff. Tell us about that, B-Huck.
Heck yeah. This is a big deal. Private exporters reported sale of 132,000 metric tons of soybeans for China 24-25 crop year on the books. This is good to see, Tommy.
Yeah, it's a start. And lower prices should bring in good demand from all types of places. We should see people who are like, wow, the American farmer's awesome. They're willing to grow corn $1 under my cost of production. Why would a foreign country try to go huge into ag when other countries are willing to do that? And in some ways, we're getting close to that crop insurance level. I don't think they have programs like that. Matter of fact, I did a speech for my friend Andy Clean up there. He's part of John Deere and stuff with the soap. And I was shocked to hear what they don't have in Canada when it comes to crop insurance and protection for the price for a farmer and how little they use the market. So if our good friends, our number one trading partner to the North, Canada, doesn't have programs like the US has, imagine countries all over the world that they don't have that floor for farmers. Brady, what do you think about that?
Yeah, that sometimes you don't appreciate the floor that we have and the policies in place to incentivize us to be able to grow a crop confidently, knowing that the USDA or maybe not the USDA, but maybe crop insurance and those programs have our backs. Yeah.
Yeah. And I know hog producers and cattle producers worked and lobbied for years to get LRP. I'm not quite sure how it came together. Maybe we can get someone on the show who could really be knowledgeable about, hey, this is how we got this done, right? But it's interesting. Hey, Joe, go full screen on Brady real quick. And Brady, talk about LRP real quick. I got to shoot someone a message here. LRP, sir.
You betcha. Yeah. Well, LRP is a government subsidized put floor to protect your cattle. It's available in feeder, to protect your feeder cattle, to protect, cow calf guy. You can go out and protect, unborn calves or your current calf crop that's on the ground. You got some great prices. I think if you're in the cow calf business, this really makes sense. If you're in the stocker cattle business, it really makes sense. The thing about LRP is, you get a bill or a check at the end. You pay on the back side of it versus on the front side. That's huge incentive for the product and the program. Great opportunity with prices where they're at, 250, 260 feeder cattle board. It's not 150 feeder cattle board. So anybody in the cow calf business, it just makes a lot of sense for. On the fat cattle side, there's products available for that as well. With the positive basis and the discount of the futures out there makes it a little tougher. But if you're buying these expensive cattle and putting them on feed, you might want something underneath you. The thing about LRP that I really like to emphasize is it's a foundational risk management product versus, just a one and done type product. So you take LRP and then as the market moves, come in and pair that with futures option strategies, being able to manage that policy, the premium, enhance the coverage as the market moves, or if we get a significant sell-off, last last year, September to December, feeders sold off $60 a hundredweight on an 800-pound feeder calf. That's close to $500 a head of value change there. And if you had an LRP policy that was, at 260 and the market sold off to 210, you've got a lot of value there. And coming in to protect that value in your policy and embrace volatility, there's things we can do out there to manage these market moves when volatility comes in. So you're not just a victim of volatility. There's so much victim pandering out there. It makes me sick all the time. You got tools, great tools out there. We can't do nothing about where these markets go, but we can do something to protect these prices when they're here, Tommy.
Great job, buddy. Let's give a shout out to Tony Dunker, and Kayla is now registered with LRP. They use LRP for hogs, and we just started using LRP for some of our dairy clients. So very interesting. I am not registered to do it, but if you need to get a hold of Brady, you can call 1-855-737-FARM, and Brady, Tony, Kayla, someone on that team can get that done for you. Very interesting. Let's talk premium real quick. I think you did a little premium. I think you just sent out to your own client yesterday, but I got premium out late yesterday. I apologize. I've been having the hardest time with my eyes. I getting old. It's not easy, Brady. But anyway, I see you squinting sometimes, so you might be ready for glasses and bifocals anyway. But the girls at the eyeglass shop loaded me up new glasses. I told them about the TV and the lights and the reflect. No, these aren't the new ones yet.
Oh, okay.
They're on their way. But the right eye changed, left eye changed. And you know what? To bring that into markets, when you're not seeing straight or when something's blurry, you gotta dial it in. You got to get a little in control. So yesterday's premium was myself talking about ATI Pro Media premium client said, what would you do if someone called you today and opened up a new account? I said, that's a great question. Let me go over step by step. Number one thing I would do would be ask them about insurance, what levels they're at, because that's now kicking in. And then 2, 3, and 4, I talked about that. So if you want a copy of that basic floor in corn and soybeans starting today, like if you are there and you say, I'm 100% out of control, I'm scared and I need help, then we could actually come up with a plan for you. And the in my opinion, the cattle was one of the true last hopes of a market that was really doing well. And the way they sold off yesterday caught people's attention. Several people have asked, can corn go lower? And so what I have here, Jojo, bring it up. I have a monthly corn chart, active corn chart. And I'm old enough to remember this is where Tommy started advanced trading right here.
Okay.
April of 2014. And that was not fun back then. And it was not fun for a long time. And we do this. And then we had a little situation in the world. And the world shut down for a little bit. And we went down to here. But although this is not what you want to hear, but this is the truth. Big bear markets create bull markets. And so one of the biggest bull markets I've ever seen is because we spun out of a bear market. So now let's take it back to the funds, Mr. Brady Huck. The funds were really short down here. And we had something which I was not familiar with, but you'll remember the derecho. And everyone said it did big damage. And they said, how could the corn be out there when all these bins were empty? It's kind of like a little, tell, like if you're playing a card game. But anyway, the crop wasn't there, and you take up the short acres in 19, which did take the USDA quite a few years to tell us about. We call that the missing 300 or 400 million bushels. And then you take the derecho and we rock it up to here, okay? And the funds cover. We come back down, and then who's got their bingo card out? Russia invades Ukraine. And the funds explode and cover all shorts and get really, really long. And what we're seeing here, Mr. Brady Huck, is a half off sale. God, that pains me to say that. Half off sale officially in corn here. When you look at 815 corn, what's 815 divided by 2, Brady? Let's do 814 divided by 2. 407. And where are we today? Mr. Brady Huck, doggone. I know your mom was an English teacher, but she must have taught you a little math, boy. We're at 406. Half off sale in corn. It's a big deal. Not happy about it, but the very funds that made farmland double, the very funds that made corn double are the very funds that are going to take corn back down. How low can it go? Well, we spent a big part of my career trading a lot lower corn. So if you're someone out there, if you're frozen up, if you need help, if you need that tap on the shoulder, give us a call. We can help you there, whether it be livestock or futures and options or anything else. I know everyone wants we'll call it the magic pill, right? Where they can, tell me how I fix this. And it's not so fixable today. It's manageable today. Would you agree?
Absolutely. Yeah. We can look back and hindsight this thing to death, but it's about looking forward. What can we do today, tomorrow, going forward? Marketing's been easy for a number of years based on that chart. It's just how good was it, right? Was it good, or was it really, really good marketing? So yeah, we can definitely talk to you about what we can do going forward to help you out and get you in control. That's the number one thing. Don't want to paint ourselves into a corner.
Yeah, absolutely. I think what people want is the Ozempic of grain marketing. They're like, I want to eat bad, I want to drink on the weekends, and I want to lose weight. Do you have a pill?
Magic
Right? And
pill.
that's what they want. Currently, over 6 or 7% of Americans are on a weight loss pill. And heck, I should be one of them, right? But in the end, no one knows how we get these people off this drug. Okay, so you take this drug, it curbs your appetite. What happens when you stop taking it? I talked to one of my doctor friends. He said, good old fashioned discipline goes a long way. Put the fork down, right? And he said, you can't have a country hooked up on Ozempic. But when you think about farmer marketing and grain marketing, whether it be cows, cattle, grain, they want the Ozempic. In America, I don't have that marketing plan. If you do, B-Huck, send it my way. Back to you, sir.
That's good. That's a great analogy. You always have these great analogies, Tom. Yeah, I love it. That's my favorite thing about you. You bring it back to something that we can all relate to and understand.
That I'm fat. That's great. Thanks, Brady. Appreciate it. Hey, how
I
about
didn't
yesterday when
say
we
that.
asked you to come up with the title for the show and you didn't say it? They were like, great job, Brady. All right, we'll see you.
Thanks for your input.
Thanks for your input. Questions, comments? God, we haven't even talked about the election, but we'll let that one go today. I know that upsets people. Luke, bring it home, Brady.
Luke, we've got the bright flashing neon sale on corn and beans. How much lower do we have to bleed before the flash sale starts? What do world stocks suggest? Good question.
Man, like a 3-part question all in one. I'll let you get the easy ones today, Brady.
Well, we got the flash sale here this morning on beans. That's a great sign, a great start. We need a lot more of them. Demand, low prices cure low prices, spur demand. That's great to see that flash sale, but we need more of them. And I think you need more dominoes to fall. You need a Brazil production problem. You need the U.S. you need some multiple dominoes to hit there to get this thing going. And that chart, that's a scary looking chart that you shared there, Tommy.
The corn?
The corn chart, yeah.
Mind if I pop that to beans? You just talk a little bit, and I'm going to make a monthly of beans, okay?
Yeah.
I'm going to make a most active monthly of beans. I just want to see what it looks like.
Okay.
Oof, we're not even close.
And after that, I'd love to look at a little wheat too. So
yeah.
Don't do two or three things
your wishes might come in there. Okay.
That AC wheat would be something to look at. Okay, this is beans that we're looking at here?
Yes, sir. This is the most active front month beans. So many people would say beans are really, really cheap. Tommy started advance right here, worked all the way through here.
Yeah.
Took 6 weeks off here, and then boom, one of the greatest rallies in history started.
Yeah. One thing that sticks out to me in my head, ESPN, they always have these records. This is the record, the most 3 points in an away game when he's wearing red shoes or whatever. We always have a new record. The record corn short and the record corn long on managed money, I think both of those were set within the last 5 years, Tommy. I wouldn't challenge one of those records.
Yeah, and I'll tell you why. I'm going to add to that. That is a great point. The Dow Jones is at 39,500. Assets across the world have inflated. Countries have went further into debt. United States is going $1 trillion. That's 999 billion with a B, $1 trillion in debt every 100 days. There is so much money out there. And I do think the funds could get shorter. When they cover, and they always do, we'll have a nice little rally. And we want to put people in a position to do that. Looking over at the bean chart, not too impressive. Keep talking, because you have a strategy for people in wheat. I know you did a premium about that the other day. I'll load up the wheat chart. You tell people your ideas. Don't give them all the secrets, but give them a little help.
Yeah, well, I think, on the wheat chart, we broke below the recent, pattern of consolidation. And, last Monday, we did a premium content with the crop progress ratings come out and harvest progress and winter wheat. We talked about marketing wheat post-harvest and how important it is to manage interest costs, storage charges, but also to stay in the game, because we just don't know what's going to happen with the Black Sea Russia situation, or funds get short and they need to cover those short positions, and maybe they decide to get long because the world changes. But on a SEP KC wheat, we broke below the recent trading range here, just within the last day or so, and interesting to see on that chart. Very similar on this graphic. plenty of room to the downside. A lot of years we've seen $4 or $5 type of wheat. And my grandpa, he told me a year or two ago, and it has just stuck with me. I share this with my customers, my clients, my friends. Brady, I've sold a lot more wheat with $3 and $4 and $5s in front of it than I have 6, 7s, and 8s. And that just has stuck with me over time when I'm helping guys make marketing decisions.
Yeah. A couple things, and not to kick anyone, Jojo, you can just go to Brady and I, is that the interest rates have not come down. Theoretically, they've come down a quarter. So if you're renewed operating today, you might be a quarter or a half lower. If you were at 9, you'd be at 8.5. But again, the analogy I gave yesterday, you're not just going up the treadmill for a long walk and a little incline. You're going for a really long walk of low prices if this doesn't correct itself, and the treadmill's at a pitch of 7, 8, 9 when you're used to walking at 3, and those are exact numbers. You used to walk up that nice little slope, go for a 3-mile walk at 3% incline. You're going for a 10-mile walk at 9% incline, and that right there, my friend, is the greatest problem I see in ag. But wait, there's more. I talked to a dear friend today in New York. He's not a client. He's a friend of mine's client, but I'm very comfortable talking to him. And I had asked him a lot of different questions. He's a great hedger, a great producer. He just does stuff right. He's a great farmer, right? Combined with also taking knowledge from other places. He's a great listener and a great student. But he said he went back and got his receipts from all his expenses when corn was down at this level, and he sells seed and other things. I don't want to pick on the seed guys, but they won't ask us to speak at their meetings. But truthfully, he said, wow, if expenses don't come down tremendously next year, we're looking at huge losses in 25. And he didn't mean like a 5% discount or a 10%, or we'll give you a 10% discount if you prepay, which is the seed companies using your money, right? And that's fine. That's just how the business is run. I'm not picking on anyone. But go back and look. I want y'all on this episode, there's 200 of you watching. I want you to go back and look in your file cabinet at 2014, 2015, and 2016. I want to know a couple of questions. What was your land rent? What was your fertilizer bill? And what was your seed cost? And then you could do chemicals, and that should about wrap it up. Okay. And if you could text us or email us your expenses, not so much in 14 because we were still coming down. 15, 16, where were your expenses versus what they're going to be in 25? Back to you, B. Huck. And you actually know a little about this because you used to be in that industry.
Yeah, seed business and a little background in seed business, a little background in agronomy, my early years. And but that knowledge fades really quick. I don't know why, kids or something. But Tommy G with another great analogy there.
We'll be here all week. Ring the bell. All right.
My favorite thing that you said right there, though, was being a student and learning and continuing to learn how I can do something better. Going back, digesting what worked, what didn't work, but not just worked one time, but what worked consistently year over year over the long haul in farm marketing and managing these markets.
Well, markets are down, but I'm in a good mood. So let's give people a flag. We got 2 flags to go out. Jojo, run the tape. 1-855-737-FARM. Whether you're a client of Advanced Trading, not a client of ATI Pro Media or not, we'd love to give away 2 American flags today to a great patriot. 1-855-737-FARM. First 2 people to call. Phone lines are open. All right. With that, rough day on the markets. I could see some of this coming up later down the road, a little bull bear debate. We have to start talking about what's bullish in corn, wheat, and beans and what's bearish in corn, wheat, and beans. And of course, we'll drag that over to cattle too.
You want to do that tomorrow or Friday, Tommy G?
Whenever you want. We could do a premium. That'd be great. And we could do a little free for all. It'd be nice to have you, Connor. I believe Connor's traveling, but we could do it with Joe. Right? Yeah. Me, you, and Joe. And we go from there. Joe, you and I, however you want to say it.
Joe's got some great insights sometimes. Got to give him some.
Yeah, once in a while. We give him like a once a week smart idea type of guy. Look at, he's down there laughing. We could see him in the green room. All right, questions, comments. You didn't make this show for your questions and comments, but don't be afraid to send them. Again, really seriously, the funds got corn up to $8. We have a half off sale. Are the funds, and do the funds with their new expanded limits have the power to bankrupt the American farmer? We'll see you all tomorrow. B. Huck, great job.
Thanks for joining us. We're here every day, 9 a.m. Central. Don't forget to like and subscribe. We'll see you next time.